think I'm going to call Stockholm, Sweden, and ask Johan Borgh about the gear he used on that record. Beep, 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 beep. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, may I speak to Johan Borgh, please?
Yes, this is him.
Hi, good morning, or
Good morning.
afternoon as it may be in
Yeah,
Stockholm,
it's
Sweden.
afternoon right here. That's
So glad to have you back on the Lipstick Pickup podcast, Johan Borgh.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
We talked in October about your record, Island Blues, that came out in August. We had a lengthy chat about all your lipstick pickup guitars. It's over an hour long, and I had a great time talking to you. You're a very precise guitar player, and we got a great rig rundown. And since it was such a great chat, I wanted to have you come back and do these short form conversations that I'm having because during the course of that conversation, I asked you what your most coveted and probably expensive guitar that you'd ever acquired was. And you told me it is the one sitting in your lap right now in your hands. And it's a answer for
S-
me.
67. It's a 1967 Gretsch 6120, I think is the model number. And it's called the Chet Atkins Nashville model. And that's where
And
you
I'm
are.
a Nash. So this is a great round trip migratory pattern for us to talk about this guitar because you told me about it, but you had it put away. It was a great reason to call you again and to hear about this guitar and
hmm
also hear how it's going with Island Blues. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
What's been up with your record and promoting it?
Well, so I managed to book a few gigs and kind of in two separate weekends. So we had one in November, which was like the kind of official album release show that happened in Stockholm. And then we had one in Gothenburg, which is like West Coast. So as you probably know, like Sweden is a very long country, but going, from one side to another is like a 3-hour train ride. So yeah, so Stockholm is like on the east side and Gothenburg is like West Coast.
Did you train
So
there? Did you go
yeah,
take,
hmm
you took the train?
yeah, we did, and we
And
had a few really good shows. So we actually played like two shows in Gothenburg. So like one early and one like later in the evening at the same place. And then now in January we had three more squeezed into like Thursday, Friday, Saturday in another one in Stockholm and then in two like cities nearby.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's in heavy rotation in my house, and I really love it. I was listening to it this morning,
Amazing. Love to hear that.
and I told you how much I love that song. I was listening to Soul,
Yeah.
and you said that's this guitar that have in my lap right now, the 67 Gretsch
hmm
Tennessean Chet Atkins.
Yeah.
So tell me about your acquisition of this, and also let me know how it sounds.
Yeah. Let's start with the sound first. So
Okay.
I usually play like in this middle position, which has this, clunky kind of twang to it,
Mhm.
but it's also very quiet. So and then like now I'm plugged straight into my little Fender Champ here, so like no effects. Uh, but as soon as you like switch to either of the pickups, the noise like jumps up a bit. But yeah, I love all these pickup configurations. I mean, it just sounds like old records straight away. And
Yeah.
one of my like a song that I had on the CD, like when I was 7, 8 years old, was that Dwayne Eddy song. I think
It
he
sounds
had
like the
an
baritone. Didn't he do that on a
yeah,
baritone?
it's
Yeah, but you got it. You
oh
coaxed it out
maybe
of
yeah, maybe
that.
he
Yeah,
maybe he did, yeah. But
yeah.
I mean, I just assumed, like, since it's in the key of E, it would be like on a regular. But yeah, it could be a baritone and like played, you know, in a different position. And I think
Yeah.
he also had like, if we're being really nerdy, I think he had an earlier example of this that has like the Armond pickups, the single coils. So
Hmm.
maybe like a kind
I
of
would
different sound.
imagine that that would make it sound different for it to be a
Hmm.
single coil voice versus what you have there.
Yeah, so these are like super low output humbuckers.
Yeah.
So they have this kind of in between sound. So they're still like super twangy, right? Yeah, love the sound of this. And
Sounds
sorry, what
good.
was the second part of the question? Let's hear the guitar and I was supposed to.
So do you play slide on that?
Oh, I mean, rarely. Like, I'll do it live for, you know, the purpose of like not being able to switch guitars. But like
Hmm.
apart from that, I don't really actually. I'm not sure why. Like
Okay.
it's something about the feeling of the strings just like lends itself to more like pick and like finger picking, but like chordal style. I don't know, just the sound of this, the tone of this guitar.
It's a Tennessean.
Yeah.
Tennessee's all about the picking, right?
Hmm.
The question, I thought of it too. How
Yeah.
did you acquire this? Tell me about your
Oh, that's
acquisition.
it. So I bought this at a local vintage shop in
Hmm.
Stockholm, where I was also actually working at the time. So, and I was in charge of like taking photos of the stuff that came in. So, you know, naturally I had like, I was able to, you know, see what was coming in. Like to be one of the first to see what was coming in. And I always like had one of these on my wish list. And so this particular one, it has pretty severe like binding rot. So this, yeah, it's kind of coming off, and it has some weird stuff. Like someone added another jack down here.
Interesting.
Um, but I mean, it's all original, like, you know, pickup wise. Also, yeah, it's a new bridge. It's, you know, more like a player grade vintage guitar. So it wasn't like crazy expensive. And so, you know, always wanted one of these, and this one just sounded amazing. Plugged it in. So I was like, I gotta have this. So I bought it myself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think that second jack was about? Do you have any theories about?
No idea. I mean, they do this with like their old Rickenbackers, like that stereo thing. But the thing is, like, it's silent, so it's it it's just yeah,
Hmm.
it doesn't do anything. Um,
Wow,
so
interesting.
like one owner, I guess, put it there, and then another owner, you know, before me, like
Hmm.
unplugged it.
Yeah,
So yeah, but
interesting.
it doesn't bother me. So.
I'm not even a
Hmm.
guitarist, and I know it's an iconic guitar. Long before I moved to Nashville, I knew it was an iconic guitar. It's on a lot of guitarists' wish lists,
Yeah.
especially the 67. Am I right? Is that an important year or in that guitar? Do you know?
I'm not sure about certain years. All I know is
Yeah.
like when I was gonna buy this, there was a colleague of mine that was like older and more experienced, and he said like, yeah, that's kind of the year that Gretsch were bought by maybe like the Baldwin company,
Got
I
you.
think. So he actually mentioned like that they were kind of started to like decrease in quality like around that time.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, don't rain on my parade. Like I love this guitar. It's amazing. Hmm.
Anything else you want to tell me about that guitar before I ask you to indulge me in a little bird talk?
Oh, well, oh yeah. So one thing that I always, okay, two cool features with this guitar.
Yeah.
Uh, Number one is, and I think this is a kind of fun and cool feature, is that it doesn't have a tone control, but it
Mm,
has all these knobs, and this is just volume, volume, and then master volume for
mm,
everything. And then we have the tone control is, you know, like the old Fenders, the like Esquires and so on. It's just like three modes. So it's like this is, you know, bypass. So this is the brightest it's gonna get. And then there's filter one. That's like kind of mellow. And switching to filter two, it's even more mellow. But It's like all or nothing. So you can't, like on most guitars, you can roll off a bit of tone to like get a bit of a warmer sound. But on this one, it's like, yeah, it's, fully bright or fully mellow. So strange feature. And also it has a switch for, I don't know if you see that coming up, but this little mute thing here, there's a switch right here that makes it come up. But so
Interesting.
the foam from the 60s, of course, has, disappeared into thin air. So it doesn't do anything. It just comes up a little closer to the strings. It's still not touching at the moment. Yeah, yeah.
Did
So
that
that's
one
that's
come with the original case? Do you have the original
yeah, yeah,
case?
yeah. It did. It has
Does
this
it weigh a ton?
art deco. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm noticing this about the vintage cases is that they're really
Hmm.
heavy. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
how long have you had it now?
Maybe like can't remember when I bought it, but maybe like 5 years ago.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a beauty. All
Yeah.
right. We're going to end it with some bird talk. And I told you
Hmm.
you were the perfect person to talk to about this because I want to talk about the snowy owl. Do you know anything
Hmm.
about snowy owls?
I can't say I do.
Well, I'm going to educate you, and I'm trying to bring in the
Hmm.
bird watchers because birds and music go together. We talked about your grandmother and her auditory capacity to identify bird
Hmm.
song is closely related with
Hmm.
your skill in your hearing. You have to have great hearing to be a musician, and you have to have a great hearing if you want to be a bird watcher. But the reason
Hmm.
why the snowy owl is interesting is its actually Latin name is Bubo scandiacus because it's
Ah.
closely related with the Arctic in Scandinavia. But we've got some unfortunate news. Much like slide players, it's gone
Hmm.
extinct
No.
in Sweden.
Hmm.
It was an important, iconic bird there, but it has now gone extinct because where it breeds and it eats is very important. And because of global warming, the rodent population and the lemmings that it feeds on, that population has changed. So they've moved, and that is why we're having more snowy owls show up in the United States.
Ah.
And this winter, guess where a lot of them showed up? The home of Chicago blues. Chicago, Electric
Really?
Blues. The reason why I know this is my father, he broke that record in 79. I've been around birding enthusiasts my whole life. So people from all over the country and some areas even outside are coming to Chicago to the shores of Lake Michigan to see these snowy owls who making themselves more readily available in Chicago. And I think about Chicago as being really is a meaningful city in Electric Blues, Chicago,
Hmm.
don't you
Oh
think?
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So that's why I thought, well, I'll talk to Johan about the snowy owl because it was actually in the 70s pretty iconic. In
Hmm.
Sweden, it said snowy owls had been breeding irregularly in Sweden for centuries, but in the 70s, several hundred pairs raised their young in the mountains. Their presence became a powerful symbol of Sweden's northern wilderness. So what I'm doing is I'm matching birds with songs, and I want to briefly, before I say goodbye, give a shout out to your home country and Sweden and talk about the ABBA song, Electric Sitar Song, I
Oh
Have a
yeah.
Dream. I Have a Dream. It
Hmm.
is it's was a massive international hit and it features electric sitar prominently. You sent me a track sometime in the last few months that was that session guitarist Jan Schaefer. Did I
Hmm.
pronounce it right?
Yeah.
His name? Anyway, and I said, yes, he's used electric sitar on a bunch of tracks of artists that I can't even pronounce their name because he's so successful in Sweden. He's worked with a lot of international acts, but he doesn't have to leave your country to stay very busy.
Exactly.
Just like you, he's a native wild bird.
Yeah. For sure.
He put electric sitar prominently on that ABBA song, which is, whether you like it or not, inseparable from what most Americans think of when they think of Sweden.
Hmm.
ABBA, right? We love it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, he has, I think he still has that and you can hear it like here and there on different songs that he played on.
Yeah.
I think he used it quite a bit.
Yeah, he's a very inventive guitarist and he's got a lot of flair and I've gone through and tried to learn a little bit about him, but
Hmm.
I love that he used it because that one came all the way from America.
Hmm.
I don't actually know where they recorded I Have a Dream. I think it might have been in the United States. Anyway, I Have a Dream was recorded and released in 1979, which was the same year that my dad broke the birding record
Oh,
here in the United States. So
really?
I might call this episode The Spirit of 79.
Yeah,
Or,
perfect. And another, just to tie it all together, uh, so that's him right there on the plaque on my wall.
really?
Because he was the one that gave me that scholarship for young guitarists. Because he was like, so he released like instrumental guitar music in the early 70s.
Yeah.
And so at this time, apparently, those kind of albums could chart. so he does a lot of like clinics and stuff, and he always talks about this one time where his album uh, was like above ABBA and this other Ted Gärdestad, like a Swedish singer-songwriter that he played with a lot.
Hmm.
Uh, might have been just because it was a newer album, but he has that story of like, yeah, so my guitar album was actually, on number one, and ABBA was number two. Then he went to the US and recorded with like all the Porcaro boys, all the Toto guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that's like around 79, the Ear Meal album that my dad has in his like vinyl.
Have you ever
Oh yeah,
met
yeah.
him?
He was the one that like gave me that. And so in a strange twist of fate, he told me at that time, so as I was accepting this scholarship, I was asked to play a song. And so I played my Cuban bolero Santa Monica Serenade, which is like a, nod to Ry Cooder. And I was bringing this guitar and I used it live and I had to play slide on it. But that was one of those times that like, oh, I really like, because I recorded this song, mainly on this guitar. So, but the solo was another one that I prefer, like for solo playing. Anyway, so I play that song, and he gives me this plaque and says congratulations to the scholarship. And then he tells me it's a quite sad story. He told me he had one just like this that got stolen. So he got like like a kind of a lump in his throat seeing like another one of these. So yeah, so and I've seen pictures of him, and I'm pretty sure it's not the same example, but he told me,
This is completely unplanned. I had no idea.
yeah,
We've
yeah, I
discussed him
was.
before, but I didn't know all this. I love
I,
it.
I was just thinking about it. So there's pictures of him with that guitar before it was stolen.
Small world stuff. And I'm here in Nashville. You're there in Stockholm, Sweden. Just another fine example of why I couldn't wait to call you again. I wanted to talk about Jan Schaefer, and you knew all about him. I looked at through his list of credits, and I can't pronounce any of these names. So he is extremely accomplished in playing for artists that I've never even heard of.
I think he played with at least like a few internationals. So like Lee Hazelwood had like a Swedish wife at some point.
Okay.
So I think he spent some time here. So Janne is like he's on one of his albums.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wikipedia says Bob Marley, Johnny
Oh yeah.
Nash,
Mm.
Art Farmer, Tony Williams. That's awesome.
Hmm.
All right, we did it. Actually ran about 5 minutes late because I did not know I was going to stumble in to the fact that you actually have a meaningful history with him and that guitar. It's
Yeah.
perfect. So,
Great way
uh,
to wrap up.
yes, thank you. You want to wrap up with a lick for me
Oh,
for your countryman Jan Schaefer?
oh, then I should do something ABBA related. But okay, maybe the only ABBA song I know, like at the top of my head.
Mamma Mia.
Uh,
Is that?
it's Does Your Mother Know?
Oh, Does Your Mother Know? Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
as familiar with that song as others.
Really?
Yeah, I love ABBA. I think it's great. You and
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
discussed in the pregame that you can get overexposed. I got overexposed growing up in the 70s, and you probably did in Sweden, but a phenomenal band. For anybody listening to this, if you did not grow up with this song on the radio, you have to go listen to this song, I Have a Dream. It has a
Yeah,
choral arrangement with over 30 children, and it just soars. The electric star is very prominent on it. I
for sure.
I'm gonna get you to get yourself an electric sitar one of these days. I know you told me that you had a one with a buzz bridge. I'd love to see you play one. That would be a lot
Yeah,
of
I'd love to
fun.
have like, the real one with the sympathetic strings
The
and all the,
master, yeah,
yeah,
it's a fun
for sure.
guitar.
Hmm.
Thank you, Johan Borgh. We're gonna hang up now.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
I
Uh,
know you're so busy. I'm going to remind the listeners and the watchers that you do guitar instruction and session work, and you say very busy, and that's why I appreciate your time today. I loved having you. All right, we're signing off now. Bye, everybody. I'm going to hit stop, and then I'm going to say goodbye to you. If you hear excellent tone and the sound of birds chirping, it means you've made it through an entire episode of the Lipstick Pickup Podcast. You're as free as a bird now, but I hope you'll join me again soon. Comments or questions? I can be reached at emily@thelipstickpickup.com.